Good morning, Samantha.
Morning. Okay, guys, just waiting for everybody to join and we'll get started. One more minute and I'll take attendance.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Miss Amanda.
Morning.
How are you?
Okay, guys, we're going to be on page 396 in the language arts textbook. Page 396. So everyone should open their book. All right, let's go ahead and take the attendance. Remember, when I call your name, unmute your mic, say here, then please mute your mic again. All right, Abdurrahman Kareem.
Here.
Thank you. Edito.
Here.
Basil. Basil.
Here.
Basil.
Here.
Guys, please answer the first time I call your name. Iyad Adil.
Here.
Thank you. Iyad Tamer.
Here.
Thank you. Hamza.
Here.
Thank you. Muaz.
Here.
Thank you. Muhammad.
Here.
Thank you, Muhammad. Mustafa. Mustafa. Omar. Omar. Tahir.
Here.
Thank you. Wahba.
Yes, Samantha.
Yasin.
Here.
Yusuf. Yusuf. Isel. Isel. Isel, you were just talking.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Honey, you're supposed to be answering attendance. Farah.
Okay, I was not hearing.
Okay, honey, thank you. Farah.
Here.
Farida.
Here.
Jada.
Here.
Jenna. Jenna.
Here.
Thank you. Jamana.
Here.
Thank you. Leanne. Leanne. Leela. Leela. Medic. Medic. Pilar.
Here.
Thank you, Reem. Reem? Hello, Reem. Ragmini?
Yes, Miss Amanda.
Thank you. Tia?
Here.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
Miss, I'm here.
Okay, guys, I can't hear you all talk at once. Raise your hand if you want to speak. Yes, Lan?
Miss, sorry, when you was saying my name,
Gotta raise your voice. I can't hear
I was
you.
connecting again. When you were saying my name, the Zoom kicked me out.
But I didn't readmit you. You didn't come back through the waiting room. Malik?
Miss, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm late because I'm here.
Okay, Reem?
Miss, I'm here. If you make me absent.
No, honey, I didn't make you absent. You didn't answer when I called you. I called your name 3 times and you didn't answer. So I didn't make you anything. You didn't answer. Yes, Leila?
Miss, when you called my name, I think I was not in the meeting
That's
because
right.
I was
You were not in yet. That's right. You guys, the meeting started 8 minutes ago. So those of you that joined late, you are considered late. You only have 5 minutes to be late. After that, you are marked late. All right, I have written your names down, those that joined late. If you're asking about attendance, please put your hand down. Yes, Ed. Okay, let's lower all the hands. Those people who were here on time, I marked present. Those people that were late, I marked late. You have 5 minutes to be late. So after 5 minutes, you're marked late. All right, or absent for those who don't show up until after 7 minutes. Okay, page 396 in your textbook. Before we start going over proofreading, which we've done quite a bit of the last couple of days, I want you to tell me, what are the steps to story writing? Raise your hand if you can give me the first step for story writing. What should you do first? We've been talking about this for 1 week. Okay, Wahba, tell us, what should you do first?
Think of an interesting idea and the title.
That's very good. Okay, so we have to choose. We pre-write by choosing a topic. Okay, we're going to choose an interesting idea. Pre-write by choosing an interesting idea, okay? Thank you, Wahba. After we choose the idea, what is the next step that we should do? Ragmini.
Make a story map.
That's right. We make a story map. Once we choose the idea that we want to talk about, we make a story map that lists our characters, our events, our setting, and our problem and our solution. Okay, very good. After we make the story map, what do we do next? Guys, we've been talking about this for 1 week. Were you all asleep? Once we choose the idea, we make a story map. Yes, Ragmini?
We make a draft.
That's right. You write your first draft. Very good. You take the idea and the story map and you use it to write your first draft. Okay, now the first draft is where you start to write your story. You take the idea and you develop it by turning it into paragraphs and you start to write your story, okay? After we write the first draft, what's the next step that we need to do? Once we write our first draft, what's our next step? Leanne? Hello? Okay, Farah, what do we do next?
You hear me?
I'm sorry,
We
honey,
revise.
I can't hear
We
you.
re
After we write the first draft, what do we do next?
revise.
We revise. Okay, I'm not sure who's answering me now because you both unmuted at the same time. Right, we revise. What does it mean to revise? Who said revise? Was that you, Leanne?
No, I'm Farah.
Okay, Farah. Okay, honey. What does it mean to revise?
To read the story again.
That's right. So you read your story sometimes 3 or 4 more times, and we look for ways to write it better. Maybe we want to add more details. Maybe we want to give a better description. Maybe we want to change the order of what we wrote. Maybe we want to remove something. But we revise by checking the order in which our story is written and seeing if we can improve upon what we have written. Okay, after we revise, what do we do next, Jenna?
Check our mistakes.
That's right, we proofread. Proofread is where we check for mistakes, okay? We can check for spelling mistakes, we can check for grammar mistakes, we can check for punctuation mistakes. This is where we go back and we check what we have written and try to find and correct any mistakes that we made. All right, now this is the step, proofread is what we're on today. Okay, so we have completed pre-write, we have done make a story map, we have done write your first draft, we have discussed revise. We have also done proofreading in class, but we're going to discuss it a little more in depth today for the students who are at home and don't benefit from our classrooms discussions. All right. I have a lot of hands up. If your hands were up to answer a question, please put your hand down. If you have a question, keep your hand up. Okay, Wahba, what's your question? Hello, Wahba.
Miss, I just wanted to answer the steps of the story.
Okay, honey, put your hand down then, please. All right, so let's go back to the book. Okay, so today we're going to review what we talked about as far as proofreading. We've done quite a bit of proofreading. The guys were really good at proofreading on Thursday. Okay, so when we proofread, we reread the revised story. How about one of you read this box for me? Let's see. Let's see here. Jumana, how about you read this box for us?
Reread your revised story, looking for one different kind of error at time. That way you will be more likely to catch all errors. Check for spelling errors by starting at the bottom of your story and moving up from right to left. This will help you concentrate on spelling rather than on the story itself. Check for the correct use apostrophes and quotation marks. Apostrophes are needed in contractions and quotation marks in a dialogue.
Okay, thank you. So notice the advice that it gives you. It says that you should always check for one type of mistake at a time. So if you're going to check for end marks for your sentences, go through the whole paper and look at the end mark for every sentence. Then go back and look for capital letters at the beginning of your sentence. Then go back and look for contractions to make sure that you put an apostrophe in it. Then go back and look for dialogue to make sure you put quotation marks. Okay, make sure that you look for one type of mistake at a time. That way you're most likely to catch your errors. If you're looking at everything, it's easy to miss something. So focus on one type of error every time you check your paper. When we proofread, we read the paper several times. Okay, notice this tip for spelling. When you're checking for spelling, don't start at the top of your paper and work down, because you start to read the story as you do. Start at the bottom of the paper and look at each word that you have written to check the spelling, because that way you are concentrating on the word and the spelling and not the story. Okay, so this is a good tip to check your spelling. Start from the bottom and work your way from the right to the left, just like you would be reading Arabic, right to left, so that you focus on each word. Okay, very good advice. All right, now remember to look for apostrophes and quotation marks, because that's something that people often forget when they are writing. Okay, let's review the rules again. Let's see. Bessel, how about you read this box for us?
Yes. Hello.
Hello, Bessel.
Read review the rules.
I can't hear you.
Read the rules.
Yes, please.
Grammar, possessive pronoun replaces one or more possessive noun. Be careful not to confuse possessive pronouns with contractions that contain
Contraction.
contractions that contain a pronoun and a verb. Mech-
Mechanics.
mechanic
Mechanic.
and mechanic and apostrophe shows where a letter or letters have been left out of a contraction. Use quotation marks at the beginning and end of a person's act. Words begin a speaker's words with a capital letter. Start a new paragraph for new speaker.
Okay. So remember that when we're using possessive pronouns and contractions, the contractions have an apostrophe, the possessive pronoun does not have an apostrophe. Remember, we use the apostrophe when we take the letters out of the contraction. Okay? Quotation marks at the beginning and the end of the words that the speaker says. And every time a speaker speaks, we use a capital letter when writing what they say. Every speaker's words start with a capital letter, and every time a new person starts speaking, we start a new paragraph, okay? All right. 1 second, just double checking the absences to make sure no one came in. Yusuf did not come in, right? No. Okay. All right. No. Yusuf, no. Okay. All right, sorry. Okay, let's move on to the next page, which is page 397, I believe. I can't see the box of your names is on top of the thing. Let me just move it. Yes, page 397. Let's go to page 397 in your book. Now, let's look at the writing by our example in the book. Remember, we read the pre-write where she made her story map and she talked about the man falling in the ice and how she and her mother helped to pull him out using the dog sled to get him out of the ice. This is her draft. Notice that in her draft, in blue, this is where she revised. This is where she went back and she wrote additional information or she changed stuff that she saw. As she was revising, she corrected or added information to make the writing more exciting and easy to understand for the reader. Here she started her story by saying Beth and her Aunt Sue were mushing across a frozen lake. She added in Alaska to tell where it happened. She also added one cold winter afternoon, another detail for the reader. There wasn't much daylight left, and Beth wanted to get back to camp before dark. Notice here when she does the proofreading is in red. She caught that there was a missing apostrophe in her contraction. Beth wanted to get back to camp before dark. She wrote she was tired, Sue was tired. So she decided to combine these two sentences to make it easier to read, and she changed it to she and Sue were tired, okay? So as we go back through our writing, not only do we look for mistakes, but we look for ways to make our writing better. Like here where she has two short sentences, she was tired, Sue was tired, she combines the subjects and makes an easier sentence to read and understand. The same thing here when she's writing, she wrote, she shouted, pointing ahead. She decided to add what she shouted. Look, Aunt Sue. When they got closer, they saw, she decided to explain when this event happened. She had written, they saw a man holding on to the edge of a hole in the ice. She decided to change it to when they got closer, making it more descriptive, helping the reader understand when this event happened. Here she wrote holding on. She decided to change holding on to clinging. Clinging means when you are holding on to something, something very important, something for dear life, you are holding on to it. So this is a more descriptive word that can better explain to our reader what is happening. So she has chosen to change it to use a more descriptive word. Aunt Sue slid a thick rope across the ice. She decided to add this detail. See here she wrote the man grabbed the rope. She didn't say where the rope came from. So she went back and added Aunt Sue slid a thick rope across the ice. As you read, you will find what you wrote either flows smoothly or you're missing information. She found that she hadn't told them about the rope. She was saying he grabbed the rope, but she didn't tell them where it came from. So it's important for her to go back and give enough information that her reader understands. Then she said, pull. Here she changed said to cried, because remember they're in the middle of a situation where someone is in danger. So she screams it out, not just says it calmly. She corrects the punctuation, the quotation marks, and the capital letter for what was said by the speaker. The dogs barked and pulled hard. Beth gripped the reins. The team pulled the man free just as the ice split open. Here she had written a possessive pronoun, you're safe now. It should be you are safe now. Beth, again, it said, she changed it to exclaimed because she's speaking with in an exclamatory way. She wants to speak with excitement. Okay, here it says new paragraph. Why does it say new paragraph here? Who can tell me? Why does this say new paragraph? You're safe now, Beth said. Thank you, the man said. You saved my life. Why would we need a new paragraph before thank you? Ragmini?
Because it's a dialogue.
Okay, it's dialogue, but why do we need to start a new paragraph there?
Because someone said it.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Because someone said it.
That's right, someone is saying it. Abdurrahman, why do we need a new paragraph before thank you?
Because another person starts to speak.
Exactly, very good, Abdurrahman. So here we have Beth speaking. You're safe now, and this is Beth talking. But here we have the man speaking. Remember, every time we change the speaker, we have to start a new paragraph. So this symbol, that backwards looking double P, is for a new paragraph. So here we should start a new paragraph because a new person is speaking. Okay, she also decided to add, not only did he say thank you, but you saved my life. Here, she changed the word said to gasped. Remember, gasp is when you go, so he's relieved and appreciative that they have pulled him out of the ice. She changed it to gasp, and you saved my life. So we can use tips and help from the thesaurus. She used the word said in her paragraph about 3 or 4 times. She can go into the thesaurus. Remember, we talked about using the thesaurus on sites that have dictionaries. And she can type in thesaurus the word said, and it will give her different words that have the same or almost the same meaning. So if she was to type in said, she would see cried, exclaimed, and gasped as words that have nearly the same meaning. So she can improve her paper by not using the word said over and over. She can change it to different words to match what is happening. Okay. How about we give it a try? Let's go to page 81D. 81D in your practice workbook. Okay, page 81D. I want you to take about 3-4 minutes to read the paragraphs. Let me look very quickly. It's a short story with dialogue, yes. I want you to take 3 or 4 minutes to read the paragraph and look for the mistakes. Try to find mistakes in the story. When you find those mistakes, please raise your hand to let me know you have found mistakes. No one found a mistake yet? Come on, I expect you guys to find all of the mistakes. Raise your hand when you find a mistake. In grade 3 today, they found all of the mistakes except for one. So I want grade 4 to find all of your mistakes. Okay, I have 4 hands up. There are about 10 mistakes. So I should have more hands up than 4. I hope everybody's looking for the mistakes in the story. Okay. Let's see. first hand up. Muhammad, what mistake did you find?
I found 3.
Okay, give me one so that somebody else can have a chance to answer.
Okay. So she said here she and Bill was. Should be where?
You have to tell me where you are.
There's another one before it, but I saw this.
Second line? You're in the second line.
Yeah, the second line.
Yes,
the
that's
third line.
correct. No,
Where?
second line. Was should be where. That's correct. That's in the second line.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Abdurrahman, your mistake.
Capitalize it.
Where, honey?
Before world.
You have to tell me where you are in the story.
Before the
In the what paragraph are you in? Are you in the,
First.
where are you in the story?
before
You can tell me the lines, you can count them.
and I'm in the 6th line.
The fifth line,
I'm in
1, 2,
line
3,
number
4,
6.
5. The fifth line says Writers of New York Harbor. You mean the fourth line?
I'm in the 6th sentence.
Okay, honey, you're in the fourth line, correct?
Yes.
Okay, it says it twirled. Yes, it should be capital,
capital,
beginning of the
capital.
sentence. You are correct. Thank you. Jenna, your mistake.
It's in the first sentence.
Okay.
It says Martha. It should be in.
That's right. The first word, Martha, should be indented. It's the beginning of our paragraph. Excellent, Jenna. Thank you. All right, Leela.
Miss, and Miss, I was gonna say what is Jana and Abdurrahman said, but they said it already.
Okay, honey, that's fine. No problem. All right, Basil, what did you find?
Miss, in the first line, new paragraph.
I can't hear you, Basil. Raise your voice.
New paragraph.
I can't hear you, sweetheart. Please raise your voice.
New paragraph.
New paragraph where?
In the first one, and Martha.
Yeah, we just said that. We just said that one. Do you have another mistake?
I will think I will come.
You want to look again?
Okay.
Okay, you can look again, no problem. Okay, Ragmini, what did you find?
Martha said, comma, the G has to be capital.
That's right. Martha said, don't worry. Whenever a person speaks, the first word they say is always capital. Very good, Ragmini. Okay, Hamza?
I was gonna say Martha said don't worry because you forgot quotation marks.
Where is the quotation marks that are forgotten?
After worry. No, sorry, I was mistaken.
Okay, keep looking.
Okay.
Guys, put your hand down once I've called on you and you've already answered, please. Put your hand down, please, so that I can call on someone else. Once I've called on all the people in the list, I'll ask you if you want to answer again. But right now, put your hand down if you've answered once, please. Thank you. Okay, Farida, what did you find?
And Bill said not really that cap was a gift from my grandfather. There's supposed to be a quotation mark.
That's right. Where does that quotation mark go?
Till grandfather. Like
After grandfather or after the period?
Yeah. After the period.
That's right. After the period, the punctuation goes inside the quotation. Very good. Thank you. Okay,
You're
another
welcome.
one, Jada.
Miss Amanda,
Yes?
water cannot be pronoun. We will take off S.
Where, honey?
Uh, at the waters of New York.
I don't know where you are. You have to tell me where you are. Oh, here, in the cold waters of New York?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's correct. That's correct. I don't know. I know that some people would say it's water, but in cold waters of New York Harbor is considered correct. Maybe because the harbor is broken into several different pieces. Okay, Melik, what did you find?
In Miss,
I'm listening.
I raised my hand to tell you that I don't understand.
You don't understand what, honey? What do you not understand? The mistakes that we're correcting?
Yeah.
Okay, wait till the end. I'm gonna go over all of them once we finish. Okay, I'm giving them a
Okay.
chance to answer first. Then I'll show you all of the answers. All right, anybody in my list who I did not call on already? No, okay, that's what's your mistake?
No, I forgot to put my hand.
Hey, Wahba, what's your mistake?
In the third sentence, she and Bill was sitting on the outside part of the ferry when the wind whipped up. She and Bill is supposed to be were, not was.
Yes, we already said that.
I have another one.
Okay, tell me.
In the very last sentence,
Yes?
Martha watched the seagull flew into the horizon. It's supposed to be as the seagull. Oh, wait.
You're on to something. What is it? Martha watched the seagull flew into the horizon.
I thought it was something else, like flies.
But it is something else. What should it be? Martha watched the seagull blank into the horizon.
Fly.
Fly, correct. Very good. All right, so we still have 1, 2, 3 more mistakes. Wow, so many hands up now. Muaz.
We'll have to write quotation after not really.
Nope. The person is still talking. He says that cat was a gift from my grandfather. He's still saying that. The quotations go at the end of after grandfather. We've already done that one. Leanne?
I was going to say what Muaz said.
Okay, let me show you because we only have a minute and a half left. I'm going to pull it up and we're going to look at the mistakes together. Okay, here. Martha and her class were on the ferry heading toward Liberty Island. There's a period here. That period should be removed and there should be a comma. And then it says the home of the Statue of Liberty. So this is related to here. There should be a comma here. Again, we said there should be a paragraph where Martha should be indented. Was should be were. All right. It, we said, should be capital. It twirled and spun. The beginning of our sentence must start with a capital letter. When we got down to the punctuation, Martha said, don't worry. D must be capital because it's the first word that Martha said. Remember, all dialogue starts with a capital letter. Bill said, not really. That was a gift from my grandfather. There should be quotation marks at the end. Martha said, oh, Bill, I am so sorry. There's no period at the end of her sentence. Here it says it flew toward the ferry railing. That's a complete sentence, comma, and this is a compound sentence. It's set right in front of where Martha and Bill stood. Two sentences joined together, we use comma and. And then we have here, thank you, he said. There's no comma after thank you. And fly, that Wahba told us. Flew should be fly. Okay.